Gigi is in her arms, and Gigi is a 6-week-old Frenchie with a cleft palate. I am curious if the goal is to adopt out Gigi, and if so, what would somebody need to know about taking care of Gigi once they get her at home?
So the goal is, of course, to get Gigi adopted out and into her forever home, as much as we would love to keep them all. Typically, when a dog is born with a cleft palate, the goal is always to get them surrendered to us within hours of birth. The vet typically does a check, is able to see if there is a cleft palate, and through some networking with different vets and educating different breeders, we've kind of gotten them with the mindset change of, instead of doing euthanasia, that they are able to be given the chance. And so when they come to us, they are typically tube fed every 1 to 2 hours, depending on the breed, the size of the dog, how they're responding to the tube feeding. And that goes on for the first week or two, and then starts to increase maybe to 3 to 4 hours. And then we start the weaning process onto kibble. We also do a weaning onto a rabbit water bottle versus an actual water bowl. And so by the time you would get your puppy around that 4 to 5 month age, they would be fully weaned onto kibble and an actual water bowl. So they would function very much like a normal dog. There does require some, daily palate checks. We are making sure that they're not eating any sticks outside that could get stuck in their palate. And just again, similar to how you would kind of know your dog with the spina bifida dogs, you're going to know your dog with your cleft palate. If breathing changes, if they sound a little congested, they are your baby. You're going to notice those little things, and that'll kind of prompt you to say, something seems off. And maybe it's just a simple sinus infection, which is easily treated. But there's usually this mark with them around this age that they go from trying to survive to actually being able to thrive. And that's where the rewarding part is, where they turn into this feisty, sassy little thing.
And then once they do, they're like any other typical dog, eating kibble. They just don't eat wet food. Is that what you said? No soft food?
Nothing that would be like a yogurt consistency. Some people like to put yogurt in their dog food. No broth, right? So I love raw goat's milk, but they wouldn't drink the raw goat's milk because it also goes in their nasal passage. So water up in there, not so bad, but anything else could kind of sit in there and get a little gunky.
And then they would live a full life.
Yeah. Of course. So I have 2 of my own. One will be 2 next month, and the other one is 1.5 years. Both have lived completely normal lives, super feisty. Neither of them have had surgery, and majority of them at this time do not have surgery. Old school thought was to do surgery on and fix a problem. Mm-hmm. And now there's been multiple studies that have been put out that we do not do surgical repair of the palate unless they have chronic reoccurring infections. And if that is going to be an option, we typically wait until 9 or 12 months as their growth plates kind of change. But majority of them, I would say at least 80 to 90%, live normal, healthy lives without surgical repair.
Mm-hmm. Kristin, do you have a few of your own at home?
I do, yes.
Maybe more than a few.
When they come in and they're just hours old, and you're taking care of them for, weeks and weeks, they're sometimes hard to let go.
Mm-hmm.
So
I can understand that.
I do have one cleft palate of my own, and fostering personally this one. But yeah, I'll add more.
I'm sure you will. It sounds that way.
They fit in with everybody. They're healthy,
Mm-hmm.
just like a normal dog.
And you run the group called Little Paws of Love. How long have you done that for?
Little Paws of Love. We were founded in 2014.
Mm-hmm.
We are based out of Delray Beach, but we're a foster-based rescue. So we really take in what we are able to place in fosters. We don't have a facility.
Mm-hmm.
And we have a great foster network, including experienced tube feeders, bottle feeders, up through bigger dogs, and,
Mm-hmm.
we developed that network over the years. So, but like I said, we can really only take in what we have fosters for. So we're always looking for more foster families in the area. If anybody is interested,
I would imagine you can teach them how to do that tube
Sure.
feeding and
teach
all
them
of that.
everything.
Yep.
We supply everything. We pay for everything.
You just provide that
We
love
provide
in the
love
bed.
and, yeah,
And you get the love
and
back,
care.
I'm sure,
Yeah.
because when you're
Love
taking
back.
care of a dog that is not needs some care, I'm sure there's a lot of bonding that goes on, and so
Yes.
you're getting constant love back
Yeah.
from them.
Correct.
So
Yes.
Little Paws does do healthy, normal dogs as well, but she also does very much involved with the special needs. And one of the things I can say specifically about the cleft palates is because they've been essentially hand reared. They are probably some of the most cuddly, loving, feisty, spoiled little beings in the world. But their personality is so very large and strong. And that interaction and bonds that they have with a person is so different because they only know people as mom and us as providing the care.
Right. And the process for somebody that would maybe be seeing this and wanting to adopt, how would they go about that?
Yes.
So we do require application process, which is available on our website. We do home checks, vet checks. We want to make sure, especially with certain breeds, that the families have breed experience. Once an application is submitted on a website, then we schedule a meet and greet. Whole family comes to meet. If there are any other dogs in the house, we would have the dogs meet, and then we take it from there.
You also kind of get the duration of the dog's life, access to Kristen and maybe some of the other people that were involved in the care and raising of that specific dog, to be able to ask questions. Hey, this happens with this special need, what do you think? And for me, it's also about being involved in other Facebook groups that are specific to maybe that disability. And there's so much education provided in those, and then it becomes this really cool, intricate team of people that are sharing knowledge.
It actually sounds very social in that sense, in
Yeah.
that you become a community, which is always nice.
Absolutely.
Yeah,